I used to do that when I was in a show, and then they, you know, one of the people said, you're away from your table, people are asking about your stuff. I thought, wow, I'm having more fun talking to other people than I am sitting there worried about selling a few things. Does that make sense? I guess it does. I don't know. It makes sense to me when you're enjoying yourself. Okay. Oh, right. Now we're making his hat, in other words, and just kind of thinning up that brim a little bit. You really got to be careful when you're thinning up that brim. You make sure you have a sharp knife, because I'll tell you what, it can break so easy. Okay, let's go ahead and come on the side here where our ears and stuff is going to be, and let's just come down here because we're going to be making our, cut that right there and do the same over here and cut that like that right there and come from the inside and cut that. Okay, now then we can start kind of moving in to make our face and all that. Our nose, as we go from side to side, let's come in a little bit more right here and just keep bringing this in to make our nose. Okay. Let's kind of cut this way. Come on the sides here and cut that. Now, let's just go ahead and make us a little nose right there. And cut up underneath here. I want to be careful because this is a delicate area. And you want to cut here. And make it a delicate area. Yeah, I really had a great time at the Houston show. I really did. I spent, I think I got there about noon. No, or did I? Yeah, I got there about noon, and I left about 4 o'clock. I spent 4 hours there almost, in other words. Just sharing, talking, sharing, laughing, looking at people's work. And those were the good, man, what a great time I had. But that's what I love, like I said. Okay, am I repeating myself? I don't want to keep repeating myself. But just try it sometime. That's everybody thinks about wanting to get in a show. I hope in March if nothing happens that I can attend the Texas Woodcarvers Guild show. I would like to do that up there in Kerrville when they have it. Go and see some of the carvers up there if I can. And be a great joy to do that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this on the side here. Let's go ahead and make our ears right there. One of these days I'm going to try to correspond going to my son's house in Kentucky with some shows in Tennessee and things like that. I'm going to try to correspond that type of thing. If I can, I'm going to try to start attending some wood carving shows. There's my ear that I'm doing. And it doesn't have to be a big show, you know. It can be a small show and stuff. But I would like to do that, start doing that more often and stuff. And like I said, trying to correspond it with possibly going to see my son, because he lives, you know, in Kentucky, and he lives a long way from here. He lives where I live. He lives everything's far in Texas. Everything if you live in Texas, everything's so far from you. It's pitiful. And he lives about 18 hours from me. So that's a pretty good thing. It would be a joy to be able to make some shows. And I was going to go to the Dayton show, because that was only about 3 hours from where my son was, and it was the year that they shut it down, or they quit. And that really was a disappointment. But I had it all planned and everything like that. But I understand why. I understand why those things happen. You know, I was really sad when the Smoky Mountain Woodcarver's shop, I used to visit it every time I went up there to see my son. I would go back by and go into Townsend, Tennessee, and visit Mac and them who were in Smoky Mountain Woodcarver's shop. And Gene Webb, he had a little place, and I'd visit Gene whenever I go. And then they shut down. And Gene had a little shop after that, and then it closed. So, yeah, a lot of wood carving establishments had closed. And it's been that's the sadness of it. Okay, we've got our little nose here, and let's go ahead and come down with our cut here. I missed that. I missed the Smoky Mountain Woodcarver's shop. Really do. But unfortunately, I don't know the situation with Mac and what happened, and and all that, but I do know that, you know, I know that it is still being run by Greg Dorrance, I think is his name, or the you know, it's been run online and everything like that. But it was just a joy going to the shop. Now I guess the only wood carving place now that you really just go to, and I've gone to it quite often. Every year I try to make a trip through there, even coming back from my son's, is Engler shop in Branson. And they've got a lot of carvings to look at. And in the back they sell tools and stuff like that. And you get to sit sometimes and talk, and they have classes and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's just the personal thing that you miss. That's why I want to try to make some shows if I can. And at those times. All right. Now we're getting down to the face here. I didn't have as much room for this face as I thought I was going to have, but that's okay. It's not a big thing. Let me go ahead and make I'm going to make him smiling also. And but the problem is, since our club is now no longer existing, we had to shut down because we were kind of run out of our meeting places and stuff. I don't get the interaction with carvers that I used to. And so I do miss that. Okay. Hear the birds. Got a lot of them around here. They stay around a lot. I feed them, of course. That's probably why they stay around here. Kind of like a cat or a dog. Once you start feeding them, man, let's tell you about a cat or something. Don't start feeding that thing, because the minute you do, you know, you made a friend for life now. My uncle had a little place up in Mississippi. He lived in Biloxi, Mississippi. And it was a beautiful little place, and it was like a little southern home. And goodness gracious, I mean, the birds that he had around there they had all type of species, and you don't have too many type of species of birds here. You have the blackbirds, you know, and then you have some robins, and you have a lot of blue jays, and I don't know what the Texas bird is, you know, probably the cow. No, I don't know what the Texas bird is. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not sure what the Texas bird is, but you hear all the little birds, and we have a lot of, like I said, we have a lot of pigeons. We have a lot of those around here. In fact, pigeons are showing up. Used to, I didn't have any pigeons, and now they're starting to show up at my house more often, because I guess they're finding out where the food is. The bread is, as I say. Here we go. Okay. right, let me get my, ow. Oh, I'm sorry. Ow. What am I sitting on? I think I just moved wrong. That can happen. Let me get my V-tool. Here it is. Here's my V-tool. I am sorry. Gosh. All right, let me see. Let me get my oil, get my V-tool back here and get some hair done. One day I'll make the. I may one day make the Colorado show. That one is at a bad time of the year. Last time it was I was doing a play, or I was working in a play when it happened, and I did not go. Or I was working on the play, and just something to do, folks. I'm gonna tell you something. When you get retired, always remember, don't retire and just sit. Don't do that. I tell you what, you want to find something to do, even if it's volunteering to help others or whatever it is. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some things in these pants, but just don't sit. Don't sit and do nothing. It's not good for you. I tell you, and that's the one thing I'm trying not to do, is to just sit and watch TV and just don't do anything. You can really get in the habit of doing that. I have a brother-in-law, like I said, that does that, and I tell you, he's become very extremely overweight. The only time he gets up is to go eat and stuff like that. And if you keep working your body like that, folks, that's what's going to happen to you. That's what happens to you, and you get in that habit, and your body gets used to it. And you know, I'm not trying to give you medical advice, but I'll tell you what. Everything came all right on his colonostomy, but I mean, when you do that, you worry about diabetes, you worry about all this other stuff, and I tell you, I'm not saying just because you're active you can't get these things, but it's important that you stay active and do something. And that's why a lot of people say, why do you do those plays? And, well, I don't do the plays as much, but I work on the sets, and that gives me something to do. Gives me something to keep my mind going and straight, and find something to do. You know, a lot of people carve, a lot of people do whatever. For goodness sakes, just don't sit and do nothing, because that is a bad habit to get into. I saw a good friend of mine the other day. Whew. He's just gotten so big that he is, and I'm not making fun of heavy people, because I was heavy at one time in my life, but it's just not good for your system. It's not good to be real heavy and not want to do anything all the time. Best thing to do about my advice is you don't have to take it. So, but at least be active. Even if you put on some weight, be active and stay going and all that stuff. So important. Don't let your mind, that's another thing too. I think when it comes to our minds, we should use them and not be doing nothing. Oh, there's some pigeons. They just landed. You hear them? Wow, okay. They just landed and they're looking for something to eat. They've already eaten everything up throwing them out this morning. They're greedy though, folks. They want to eat more. They eat all day long. I tell you what, they do. They would eat all day long if they could. All right. Okay. Anyway. All right. Well, I tell you what, we just about got him finished now. And okay. I'm gonna go ahead and wet him, and let me come up underneath here. I want to just kind of cut this out. There we go. Cut that out right there and give me a little bit more. There we go. Now that's looking much better on the thing. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of wrinkles right here, and a couple of them right here. The Mavi tool. And let me go ahead and wet him. In fact, I'm gonna wet both of them. And we'll see what we got here. Oh, man. Oh. All right. Well, here's our two little guys. Let me get my. There's a guy told me, they said that I think I told y'all that, where his wife said that was that the guy, he was going to go listen to a carving video, and says, is that the guy with the orange orange towel, whatever it was? And he said, yeah, that's him. Oh gosh, who would think an orange towel? Anyway, here's our two little guys. Now he's going to have a little cane running down his thing there, and